Good morning students. So welcome to Tungal online classes. So in this session we are going to start the next chapter, which is three-dimensional geometry. Okay. So 3D geometry. So for board exam from this chapter, one mark question will be given, one 2 marks question is given, one 3 marks question and one 5 marks question will be given. So total weight is 11 marks from this chapter. Okay. So in this chapter, three-dimensional geometry, we are going to study about the topics. First, DCs and DRs of a line. DCs and DRs of a line. Then we study about equation of line in the space. Equation of line in the space in various forms. So if you remember in first PUC we studied about straight lines, that is in 2D geometry. Okay, in the plane we studied about lines. Now here we will be studying the line equation in the space, means in 3D space we will be studying about this equation of line. Next we study about skew lines and distance between skew lines. So there is one special type of lines which are possible only in the space, that are called skew lines. Okay. So we will be studying about this skew lines and how to find the distance between that skew lines. Next we study about planes and various forms of planes. Various forms means representation of a plane in different forms according to different conditions given. Okay. So this is about planes. Then we study about coplanarity of two lines in the space. Coplanarity of lines in the space. Then we study about distance of point from a plane. In first PUC we studied distance of point from a line. So here we study distance of point from a plane. At the end, distance between two planes, or distance between two parallel planes. Right. So these are the topics we are going to study in this chapter, three-dimensional geometry. Okay. So before starting the chapter, let us discuss about some basic things which are related to this three-dimensional geometry. Okay. So already we studied in first PUC introduction to three-dimensional geometry, how to represent a point in the space, then how to break the distance between 2 points, section formula we studied. Okay. So these are the basic things already we studied in the first PUC. Okay. So you can go through all the basics once again. Now along with that introduction to 3D geometry we studied in first PUC. Now one more important topic which will be used more in three-dimensional geometry, it is vector algebra. So whatever the concepts we studied in vector algebra, that is also we are going to use here, because the representation of a line or a plane or whatever the things we are going to discuss here. So all the things we are going to represent in the form of vector. Okay. Cartesian form also will be represented, but first we will represent in vector form. Using vector form only we have to derive the Cartesian form. Okay. So whatever the concepts we studied in vector algebra, all those basics we are going to use here. Okay. So again, before going through this topic, first let us revise all the concepts what we studied in vector algebra. Okay. So recently we completed the vector algebra chapter, so you can go through all the basics once again from vector algebra. Next, So for most of the students, this chapter they will feel that it is difficult, and to understand it is very difficult. Okay, so one thing you have to do here is imagination. Okay, because this is we are studying in the space. Okay, so in the space means it is not possible to show on the board. Okay, if it is 2D geometry, straight lines, conic sections, so all these things we studied in the plane, so that is possible to show on the board. But here in the space means those we cannot imagine, we cannot draw on the plane. Okay, so you have to imagine how the planes are, how the lines are. So if we can imagine, this will be very easy. Understanding? So without imagination, we cannot solve or we cannot understand the concepts based on three-dimensional geometry. Okay, so try to visualize, imagine that how the things will be. It will be very easy to understand. Okay. Right. So first let us start. You can go through all these basics of introduction to 3D geometry and vector algebra concepts. So let's study about first topic, DCs and DRs of a line. DCs and DRs of a line. So what are DCs? In vector algebra we studied DCs means direction cosines and DRs means direction ratios. So in vector algebra, if you remember, we studied DCs and DRs of a vector. Okay. So first let us go through that once again. If there is a vector, suppose this is a vector given. R bar. So how do we determine the direction cosines or direction ratios of this vector R bar? Suppose R bar is in the form AI plus Bj plus Ck. If vector is in this form, how do we determine the direction cosines and direction ratios? Okay. So if the vector is making some angles alpha, beta and gamma with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Okay. Vector is making angles alpha, beta, gamma with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. Then this alpha, beta, gamma are called as direction angles. These are called direction angles, and cosine of this direction angles. Cosine of direction angles means cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma. So these are called as direction cosines of this vector. Okay. So to find the direction cosines, we need the direction angles, that is the angle made by the vector with the coordinate axis. So if alpha, beta, gamma are direction angles, then cosine of these angles, cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, these are called as the direction cosines of this vector, denoted by cos alpha denoted by L, cos beta is M and cos gamma is N. This is a notation we used for denoting direction cosines. Okay. Next, what is the relation between direction cosines? Relation between direction cosines is L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. And any numbers which are proportional to this direction cosines are called as the direction ratios. L lambda, M lambda, N lambda, these are called as direction ratios of the vector. L lambda, M lambda and N lambda. So these are called the direction ratios of this vector. Now these direction ratios are usually denoted by small letters A, B, C. Okay. A, B, C are the notation for direction ratios of vector. So these are the things already we studied in a vector. Now we are studying DCs and DRs of a line. Now line, is it entirely different from a vector? Line is nothing but it is the extension for the vector. So line will be extended up to infinite on both the ends. Okay, line is extended up to infinite on both the ends, whereas vector is, it is a fixed directed line segment. Vector is a fixed directed line segment. So the only difference is we are extending the line on both the ends, whereas vector is a fixed directed line segment. So there is no much difference between the angles made by vector or line with coordinate axis. Okay, so they are almost similar. So there is a small difference. Now that difference we'll study here. Okay, so instead of taking the vector, now I'll take a line. Suppose there is a line L in the space. Okay, a line L in the space makes angles of alpha, beta and gamma with the positive direction of coordinate axis. So again, it is not possible to show that on the board. Imagine that these are the coordinate axis, x axis, y axis and z axis. This is the origin. So assume that there is a line. Suppose this is a line. Now we can extend this to up to infinite on both the ends. So this is a line L. Now this line is making the angles of alpha with x axis, beta with y axis and angle gamma with the z axis. Okay, so line is making these angles with the coordinate axis. Then cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are called as the direction cosines of this line. Cos alpha, cos beta and cos gamma, these are called as direction cosines of line L. Okay, so it is similar to direction cosines of vector. Understand? So direction cosines of line, these are also denoted by L, M, N. Okay, direction cosines of line denoted by L, M and N. Now the difference is here, a line making some angle with the x axis, y axis, z axis. Okay, just assume here, suppose this is the x axis, suppose this is a line like this. Now line is making angle alpha with x axis, means now the same line makes another angle. What is this angle I can take here? It is pi minus alpha. Okay, line is making angle alpha with x axis, means we can take another angle, it is pi minus alpha also, because it is not a directed line. If it is directed line, only in the particular direction we have to take the angle, whereas a straight line means it will be extended up to both infinite on both the ends. So here line makes angle alpha with x axis, means the same line makes another angle, it is pi minus alpha with the x axis. So what will be the set of direction cosines for the line here? Is it only cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma? Not only cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. So this is one set of DCs. DCs of line. Not only this, we can take cosine of angle made by line with the coordinate axis. So cos of pi minus alpha, cos of pi minus beta and cos of pi minus gamma, these are also DCs of line. So what is cos pi minus alpha? It is minus cos alpha, minus cos beta, minus cos gamma. So these are also the direction cosines of line. So whenever a line is given, so there are two set of direction cosines we can take. One is cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, another set of DCs is minus cos alpha, minus cos beta, minus cos gamma. Okay. So depending on usually we will be taking the positive values. Okay. Usually we take positive values of this direction cosines. So sometimes you can take a plus or minus. So therefore what we can conclude here, DCs of line we can write plus or minus cos alpha, plus or minus cos beta, and plus or minus cos gamma. These are DCs of a line. So this is the difference between direction cosines of line and vector. If it is a vector given means it is a directed line segment. So directed line segment, it will make always only one angle with x axis. Okay, we cannot consider the other angle. So whenever it is a vector, so usually we take one set of DCs, that is cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Whereas we are discussing about line, then we can take both the cases, plus and minus. Okay, that is the difference between DCs of vector and DCs of line. Okay. So here DCs of line will be taking plus or minus cos alpha, plus or minus cos beta, and plus or minus cos gamma. Okay. Again I am repeating, usually we take the positive values only. So again we can write the relation between DCs of line here. So whatever the relation we have written in terms of vector, so same relation we can write in terms of line also. Relation between DCs of line, it is L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1, L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. Next, drs of line. So any numbers which are proportional to DCs, they are called as drs. So how do we take drs? Let L, M, N be DCs of line, then proportional numbers like L lambda, M lambda, N lambda are drs of the line. These are the drs of line denoted by ABC. So small ABC indicates direction ratios of the line. Understand? So these direction ratios are not fixed always. Okay. See, direction ratios are the proportional numbers. So when the proportionality constant changes, drs also changes. Okay. So drs are not fixed for any vector or for any line. So they are always proportional numbers, they will be changing values. So any set of numbers which are proportional to DCs, we can take it as drs. Next, suppose if DCs are given, now we can take we can find the drs, and if drs are given, we can find the DCs. So if DCs are known, L, M, N, now we take any proportional numbers like 2L, 3L, 2L, 2M, 2N, or we can take minus 3L, minus 3M, and minus 3N. So these are drs. But if drs are given, how do you find the DCs? Okay, relation between DCs and drs. Relation between DCs and drs. See here, L lambda, M lambda, N lambda, these are called drs of line denoted by this letters ABC. So A equal to L lambda, B equal to M lambda, and C equal to N lambda. Now if we can find this lambda value, then we can write the relation between DCs and drs. How do you find lambda here? We can find lambda value using the relation between DCs. Relation between DCs is L square plus M square plus N square equal to 1. So here L value is A by lambda, M value is B by lambda, and N value is C by lambda. So we know that L square plus m square plus n square equal to 1. So what is L square means here? A square by lambda square, b square by lambda square, c square by lambda square equal to 1. So lambda square is a square plus b square plus c square. So lambda value plus or minus root of a square plus b square plus c square. So once we know lambda, then we can write relation between DCs and DRs. So therefore, what will be L value we can write? It is a by lambda. Lambda is plus or minus. So plus or minus a by root of a square plus b square plus c square, comma, m is b by lambda. Lambda is this much, so plus or minus b by root of a square plus b square plus c square, and n value is c by lambda plus or minus c by root of a square plus b square plus c square. So this is how we can find DCs when DRs are given. Okay, DRs are given A, B, C. Now how to find DCs means divide this DRs with the square root of a square plus b square plus c square, then we can find DCs. Okay, so DRs are given, we can find DCs. If DCs are given, you take any proportional numbers, multiply by 2 or multiply by 10 or multiply by 100, any proportional numbers you take, they are called as DRs. Okay, so this is about DCs and DRs of line, relation between DCs and relation between DCs and DRs. Understand? Right. Next, we study about DCs and DRs of line joining 2 points. DCs and DRs of line joining 2 points. In the space. Right. So again, first we discuss in terms of vector. Now that same concept we can apply in terms of line also. Okay. So in vector algebra we studied how do we write the vector joining 2 points. Suppose these are the 2 points. This is P and Q. Okay. We are finding the vector joining these 2 points. This PQ bar we are finding. Suppose P is the point x1, y1, z1 and Q is the point x2, y2, z2. So how do we are writing the vector PQ bar? Vector PQ bar, we are writing it as x2 minus x1 into I plus y2 minus y1 into j plus z2 minus z1 into k. This is what we are writing, vector joining the 2 points studied in vector algebra. Okay. So now in terms of line joining 2 points, so what is the line joining 2 points means? We just have to extend this line up to infinite. So whether it is extended up to infinite or not, the line is same. Okay. So the DCs and DRs of this line will be same as DCs and DRs of this vector. Okay. So So whether you are extending that or not, the DCs and DRs remains same only. Okay. So here the DCs and DRs of line will be same as DCs and DRs of this vector joining 2 points. So already we studied how to write the vector joining 2 points. Now once we know the vector, now we can write its DCs and DRs. So what are the DRs of vector here? DRs of PQ bar are, if vector is in the form AI plus BJ plus CK, vector is in the form AI plus BJ plus CK, what are ABC called? DRs of the vector. So it is in the form AI plus BJ plus CK. So DCs are x2 minus x1, comma y2 minus y1, comma z2 minus z1. These are the DRs of vector. Next, how do we write DCs? If AI plus BJ plus CK is the vector, so how do we write DCs? DCs are A by magnitude of R, B by magnitude of R, C by magnitude of R. That is what already we studied. So here DCs of PQ bar are x2 minus x1 divided by magnitude of PQ bar, comma y2 minus y1 by magnitude of PQ bar, and z2 minus z1 divided by magnitude of PQ bar. So these concepts already we studied in vectors. Now same concept we can extend for line also. Okay. So just we are extending the line up to infinite on both the ends. So same type of concept we will be using here. Suppose there is a line which passes through the 2 points given. Suppose this is a point P and there is a point Q. P is x1, y1, z1 and Q is x2, y2, z2. Now joining these 2 points, we are getting a line. So this is a line L. So now we need to find DCs and DRs of this line. Now you may think that we are finding the DCs and DRs only for line or vector which is starting from origin or passing through origin. For this type of vector or for this type of line we are discussing about DCs and DRs. Now what about DCs and DRs for this line? If the line is not passing through origin, so what we do is we can move the line parallelly so that it makes we make it passes through the origin. So when lines are parallel, their DRs and DCs will be same only. Okay, lines are parallel means their DRs and DCs we can take same only. So whenever the line is not passing through origin and you want to find its DCs or DRs, so what we do is we will move the line parallelly so that we will make it to pass through origin, then we can find DCs and DRs. Okay. So here line is passing through PQ. Let a line L is passing through 2 points P x1, y1, z1 and Q x2, y2, z2. Then first we write DRs. So what are DRs of line L are? DRs of the line are x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. So these are the DRs. Next, and DCs of line are, what are the DCs? x2 minus x1 divided by magnitude of PQ bar. So here we are not taking magnitude, we are not discussing in terms of vector. So what is magnitude of PQ bar is nothing but distance between PQ. So what is the distance between PQ? We know root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. Okay. So we can write as x2 minus x1 divided by distance PQ y2 minus y1 divided by distance pq, z2 minus z1 divided by pq distance. Okay, so we are not writing in terms of vector here, we are taking the distance between the points pq. Okay, so pq distance means we know how to find the distance between two points using the formula root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square. Understand? So this is how we can find the DCs and DRs of line joining the 2 points. Okay, using the concept of the vector joining 2 points. Okay. Let us see some example here. Find the direction cosines of x-axis. Important for 1 mark type questions, this will be important. Find the direction cosines of x-axis. So here we are taking x-axis. Now we know x-axis is in the form of a line. Okay, x-axis is in the form of a line. So any line in the space given, we can find its DCs and DRs. So here we are interested in finding the DCs of the line x-axis. See here, if I take diagram, z-axis, this is x-axis and y-axis. So how do we define the direction cosines? For finding the direction cosines, what we need is either we should know 2 points or we should know the angle made by line with the coordinate axis, with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So here we are interested in finding the DCs of x-axis. This is the x-axis. So for finding DCs, here points are not known. Points are not known. So what we do is, we will find the angle made by this line with x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Now once we know the direction angles, we can find DCs. If alpha, beta, gamma are direction angles, then cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are the direction cosines. So we know what is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis. What is the angle made by x-axis with x-axis? Alpha, it is 0. Okay. X-axis makes angle 0 with the x-axis. So angle made by the line with x-axis. So whatever be that line, here that line becomes x-axis. So alpha is 0. What is beta? Angle made by line with y-axis. So clearly we know this angle is always 90 degrees. So beta is 90 degrees. And what is gamma? Angle made by the line with x-axis. So this angle also right angle we know, because x, y, z are mutually perpendicular lines. So angle made by z-axis with the line which is x-axis. So this angle also 90 degrees. Understand? So once we know the direction angles, now we can write DCs. So DCs of x-axis are cos alpha, it is 0, comma cos beta 90 degrees and cos gamma, it is 90 degrees. So which are cos 0 is 1, cos 90 is 0 and cos 90 is 0. Okay. So direction cosines of x-axis are 1, 0, 0. Okay. So similarly you can find direction cosines of y-axis and find direction cosines of z-axis. Okay. can solve similarly. Just find what are the angles made by the given line with x axis, y axis, z axis. Once we know the direction angles, we can find direction cosines easily. Okay. So, either angles will be given or line joining the 2 points will be given for finding the DCs. Okay. So, in these two cases we can find the DCs of line. Understand? So, this is the theory related to first exercise. So, go through all the theory so that we can start exercise in the next class. Okay. Thank you.